Today's 23 through 25 of my 40-day water fast. Um, well, had some other deviated from it just ever so slightly, but not having any food. So, recording this on the morning of the day 25 for a change. I'm not sure where things are going to be later tonight. I'm going to be somewhere totally else tonight or be out super late or whatever. I don't know. So I don't want to delay recording until tomorrow if that ends up happening. So I'm just recording now. So because I'm already behind a little. So the numbers 23 through 25. Okay, so so last left off day 22 was down to 191.2. And so on day 23 went down to, at a huge drop, down to 187.2. And on top of that, I ended up being up until 4:33 in the morning. So that was fun. And but I think that day the difference was ended up switching to basically drinking mostly just water, just plain water, and wasn't consuming pretty much any salts at all, I think. And so I think I had a major released a bunch of water because I wasn't consuming any salts. So that's why the huge drop from 191.2 to 187.2. Then bounced back up a little bit on the 24th, back up to 189.8. And then again on day 24 yesterday, ended up being up until about 4 a.m. And I'll go into that story in a moment. And then this morning, when I woke up, then it dropped back down again, down to 187. So as of this morning, I'm now down to 187. But the last 3 days, the pH and the ketones have both all been sticking around the 6 pH and 6 ketone level. And that's despite that I was just mixing things up a bit. Started having some zero sugar vitamin water and the no sugar added a little bit of coconut water. There's like a couple of calories into it, but so far it's been negligible because my pH and my ketones are indicating that they're staying the same, and I'm still dropping the weight. So that's all, as far as I'm concerned. That's all that really matters. Let's just go into how the shins are looking. I just took a shower, so sometimes that can kind of affect how it looks right after taking a shower. Yeah, it's just looking. Like I said, it seems like it's just kind of going into like a slight scabby healing state now. It's like after a wound, then it starts scabbing over. If you heal, that's what it kind of resembles to me right now. So I think that's a good sign. It's a good sign. Again, the right side seems to be healing faster right now than the left side. The left side is, but it's coming along. But yeah, from my experience, and I remember listening to a doctor, like a plastic surgeon doctor, and he was talking about healing, and it's normal for if you have multiple wounds in your body that they don't all heal simultaneously at the same rate, that one will heal faster, and then once that one is all healed up, then the next one will then heal, and it kind of goes in sequence, not just simultaneously in parallel. And so it's I'm getting the sense that this is the one that more of the healing is being directed at right now, and that once this one is mostly pretty much gone, then this one will start accelerating healing. I think that's based on what I've read and listened to. That's what, and what I'm observing right now, that's what it seems to be happening. You know, like I said, I'm not saying 100%, but definitely it's like, it might be like an 80-20 thing. You know, it's like 80% of the attention is going to this one right now, and then once that's done, then this one will go down. So something like that. At least that's the theory right now. Yeah. So clearly I'm not following any typical guidelines. I'm violating all the rules that I've ever read about doing water fasts and long fasts. I'm just playing by my own rules right now, experimenting in all sorts of ways on this one. This one is definitely, I might rename this the wild card 40, the 40-day wild card water fast, because I'm definitely going into all kinds of different realms and testing things out to see what's possible, what's allowable. And it seems like things are more allowable than I realized. That's what I'm discovering. Body is way more resilient than we often give it credit for. The notion that you need to just lie in bed 12 hours a day, be super you have to be super gentle, super treat your body like it's just a super delicate little flower. It's just not true. I think it's a presumption. There's a lot of presumptions that are being made, I believe now, because I've definitely put myself through a lot more stuff during this fast, and and I'm doing pretty good overall. Getting the results. Things are going down. Feeling good overall. Could have gotten a little more sleep. Thought I had to get up. I thought I was getting up to go to a martial arts class this morning. And then after I'm just about getting ready to go, I see a message saying, "Oh, it's raining because we're doing an outdoor class, and class was canceled." And I was like, but it's okay. I actually prefer that I'm up right now, anyways. I'll just take it a little easy this morning. I think after this, I'll just do a meditation for a little bit, and I'll just kind of, settle me in a little bit more. And then I'll just have shift plans this morning. Instead of going to class, I'll just go practice by myself or something. I think somewhere where it's not raining right now. Anyways, so funny enough, ended up watching Avatar, the original Avatar, again with another friend who's out of the country, and we were watching it together simultaneously, and was doing some so she was doing shrooms, so she was doing did a fair amount of shrooms, but not too much where she could still watch the TV and it wasn't like all distorted. It wasn't all super distorted or anything like that. And then also doing some ketamine at the same time. And then we just had our phone on our earpieces in so that we could keep an open line of communication. And we just synchronized the play back. We both were playing it on Amazon Prime. Just rented it, and so she was just home by herself, back, and it was interesting. Yeah, like actually watching a movie together with someone who's out of the country, synchronizing it, and then we're both doing some ketamine together. It was quite the interesting experience, but at the same time, I was doing it in a way that, well, we started the whole call originally, that I was doing wanting to start it as like a session, doing it as like a, like an NLP type session. That was the original intention. And so she had things that she wanted to work on. But as it unfolded, it just kind of, things you have to be willing to be flexible. And so once we got started, it very quickly, became apparent that, she, needed to just have it a bit more organic type of conversation and let things unfold, and not try to direct it too much, like I might have, had been more before. And like there was no intention of like, oh, we're gonna watch a movie together, but it just, in the process of just letting the conversation unfold, and as she was just sharing things, and I just kind of put down the script, but I kept my notebook with me to still, like, wherever there's opportunities to just refer back to anything she said, or like certain key things that were really, substantial to her, that, I'd jot those things down. So I was kind of like, had it just kind of put it on the back burner, playing it, but it was still just, there, available for me to access those other tools if it felt like there was, appropriate opportunity to kind of integrate it back in there, pull it back in. So I was kind of playing this dance of, being like, being both being a friend and practitioner, and like just trying to be like I don't know, I know I'm not really like, haven't earned a title of like a shaman type thing, but just like something I'm just aspiring, just be some other kind of certain type of guide. It's like, because I feel like, just channeling or this spirit energy, like it's like a culmination of different life skills, natural skills, acquired skills, just seemingly gifted skills, some spiritual like channeling of energies, that I'm just in the process of understanding myself, but just learning to just trust and have faith in tapping into otherworldly type of information that I don't know. It's like I otherwise have no reason to know, but I just know, kind of thing. I just know it because I know it. I can't tell you exactly why I know it. Things just come to me. Sometimes these things come to me seem on some levels almost preposterous, and outrageous. But but in the context of the situation, it just it's like you should, just say, oh, here's a seemingly fixed situation between you and a husband and other family members, and like this if you do anything, this will violate a trust or something. And I'm just like, I'm seeing that, hey, no, you could actually get way beyond anything you've imagined, and not only not violate any trust, enhance the trust. It's just like, it's like the smaller view that currently locked into. It's like I'm just like receiving visions and ideas, and just like completely out of the normal bounds. Ways to challenge the other, like in this case, certain fixed boundaries. And I'm just like, those boundaries are the limitations. Like there's options that are something much grander than what you're currently thinking, and it will fulfill everything much better and not violate anything at the same time. So, so I'm just, it's interesting. I'm just navigating these waters right now. But in the process, I'm feeling more and more, my faith and trust in this path that I feel I'm called on and pulled into. It's last night was yet another very inspiring example of just like, go with the flow. When I go in the flow, not resist, and just let things unfold. Went in with one idea of how it's going to go. Very quickly, plans changed. I let go. I just said, oh, okay, we're not doing that now. That plan originally had, just without hesitation, threw it out the window, metaphorically speaking. There was a desire, it's like suddenly had a different request how to do it, and instead of like fighting, it's like, no, we have the plan, we got to stick with this plan. Didn't do that at all. Just like, okay, dance with it. It's about a dance. Everything's a dance. That's what I realize. Everything, all of life is a dance. Everything is a dance. It's resistance, relaxation, flowing. Something's hard, something's soft. Something's an obstacle, flow around it. Life, death, dark, light, and then all the complexities in between those two. The beauty of the creative beauty of navigating between those poles. And so it gave me a new idea. Definitely opened my eyes to like some interesting new possibilities of group watching, like online group, multi-group online movie watching with a shared ketamine usage kind of experience, where a whole bunch of people from the safety and comfort of their own homes can watch a visually and emotionally and like mythically significant type of movie, utilize, while doing, shrooms and ketamine, things like that, have a shared experience together. And just have it like on a group call. And I know that, you've got things, they've already got things like that, but I mean, I guess but maybe not exactly like, I mean, there's group watching of movies, I think, already, so I got to look that up. What's a better, just keeping the synchronization and not having like feedback on the mics of the movie where you're hearing an echo and stuff that's the main issue, which we mostly got that handled. It worked pretty well. But then just having it a group where like everyone's doing ketamine together and stuff is it just made it so much deeper and more profound experience. And then even at one point, kind of about a third the way through, we paused the movie because there was already so much coming up. We paused to then have a discussion, which that's another thing that's kind of, you could possibly do, is like as a group, could all like vote to, just a sense of the whole group as a whole is wants to pause to have a bit of a little short discussion, kind of go on a little short tangent and just let it organically happen. And so now we're just kind of vote to pause and then go into a group discussion. And then I think we ended up talking for like a good 30-40 minutes while it's paused, something like that. And really went into some really deep things, because it was like so much, the childhood was just coming up, and memories was just so amazing, and we went into some really deep, profound things that I could see that probably I don't think we would have gone into those degrees if I just tried to stick with the original plan of just having a straight up regular NLP talk. It was something, the combination of just like watching that movie and bringing up the ideas of just connecting with nature and and the wild and the organicness, that just like opened things up for her, and also got me really connected, and ended up being a wonderful experience. And then eventually we went back to watching the movie, and then finished watching it all the way through, and it was like, it was interesting. It was like, it was this subtle thing, and I'm realizing that that's part of what I can do, is like, there's sessions that are like straight up a session of like, I'm doing this NLP type session, or asking what's called like core sort questions, and TD searches, and different like more technical terms of like very more structured form of questions and answers, and eye access cues, and and things like that. And then, but this one kind of went the opposite approach, and just went pure organic, purely unstructured, and just let it naturally unfold, and just looked and just noticed when there was opportunities to like go a little more precise about things. And to the point where it didn't even feel like a session, it just felt like we're just having a great time together. And I see that that's part of one of the things that I can do, is to have these, offer both the much more structured sessions as well as these very unstructured sessions, but that I see that also doing. I'm still working. Doesn't necessarily totally feel like work, but I'm still in the process of navigating, assisting, structuring, helping to pull forth things from the other person, to help them, see and experience a greater version of themselves, and to help them understand and understand their own traumas and where they've become stuck, and what or parts of them that they've forgotten about themselves, like inner child type things, where like they've certain parts that their younger self that they've abandoned, and that they it's like create enough fertile ground in which gives the opportunity for that inner abandoned inner child part of themselves to allow it to finally to come out and play again, that it might have been beaten down and suppressed, from earlier experiences, and the adult, is going to adulthood and just become calcified, and so it's like facilitating an experience in which it just like thaws that out. And that's what I saw. That's what I experienced last night of what was occurring, and it was really magical. And I'm feeling inspired that this is like yet another formula model to bring about and to bring with others, and it's not that this, I feel like this is it's a very winning formula, and it's at the same time it's very enjoyable. I find it's a very powerful, enjoyable experience. Like I say, I know it's like on some hand, it's like I'm enjoying it, but at the same time I'm working too. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like work either. So it's one of those. It's like that sweet spot of work and play. I'm in service. I'm still in service. Like I'm on call. I'm still on call. I'm watching the movie, but I'm that entire time I'm still like on point in the middle of watching it and experiencing it and having my own experience. I'm simultaneously cognizant of the other's experience, and always looking for an opportunity to how to enhance the service of this experience. And it could feel and occur as, I think sometimes the best type of work is times where it doesn't even seem like you're working. I think it's, like that's like some of the best ones, because then it just kind of, it just sneaks up on you, and it's more, feels so like transparent, or it's like, it's not in your face. It's not in your face. It's not confrontational. It's effervescent kind of thing. So that's what kept me up till 4 a.m. last night. It's almost 11 a.m. right now. So woke up at about quarter after 9 this morning. Bigger plans, bigger vision. Last night was definitely just another like dimension, facet of that greater vision that I had when I went to go see Avatar, the second Avatar with my friend, and and I had that huge vision about like having these shared experiences, combination of the movies, having these, facilitating these group watchings with utilizing things like with shrooms and ketamine, and helping to facilitate the play, watching it, bring the people together, helping to facilitate, orchestrate conversations, and to like just be it's like, act as this guide, this guide that I'm just being, like I said, I'm being directed. I feel like as I'm just there, something just tells me what to do, what to say, kind of thing, like it's going back to that faith and trust, and just like that sense there's some kind of knowing, some kind of higher knowing that's just guiding me of what to do and what to say in those moments. Like I go in, I actually don't have I have no idea how it's going to go. Just purely just being in the flow, in the moment, and just like surfing a wave, I'm just going with where it's going, and just playing within where it is and where it wants to go. It ultimately has, an intention all of its own, and I'm just there to surf it, kind of thing. So it's all, that's part of it. That's definitely part of it. There's more to it than that, but these psychedelic movie night experiences, and having these shared transformative, consciousness expanding group experiences, I think is definitely a very powerful thing that I want to assist with. And then now having it where doing it where we're like remote from each other and just doing an online group thing, where then everyone is just can operate safely from their homes. That's I hadn't really thought about that. I hadn't thought about that before, until last night, and so that's another dimension. I still like that we're all sitting together type of experience. I still would prefer that, but it definitely opens up a lot more avenues, a lot more opportunities for more people from diverse places to have shared experiences that are still extremely beneficial for everyone involved, and leave everybody just awakened more, opened up their consciousness more, and then they bring that back out into the world and just ripples out into the rest of the world. So I just striving for greater and greater consciousness expansion and awakening and integration, and dissolving walls, dissolving barriers, dissolving black and white thinking. To move more and more towards more transcendent, integrated thinking, integrated being. And so I think that's where I'm at right now. Day 25. I recall the last time where I was at on day 25 when I had done that previous 40-day Waterfast to heal my broken collarbone and broken big toe. The last time, day 25, I had a vision when I was just walking down the Target. I was at the grocery department in Target, and I had a vision about like a new type of food company, be like the Tesla of food, and they downloaded a whole bunch of like just it's like a huge vision of all the details. Part of me like I feel like that still deserves to come into play, because right now I want this consciousness, these like what I'm doing here to like help shift the inner workings of the consciousness of individuals, to help them break out of their traumas and their inner prisons. However, the mental emotional issues are significantly impacted by the quality and all the intense consuming of intensely processed, highly refined, processed, toxic foods. So solving this issue, working on this issue, it definitely, the nutrition food component, because we're still dealing with human bodies. We're not just minds and spirits, but the body is very much influencing how our conscious day-to-day conscious experience manifests, and it's very much enhanced or compromised by the type of food and nutrition that we're putting into our bodies. And right now, pretty much most places you go to, especially in America, is pretty much garbage. You walk down any supermarket, walk down a Safeway, it's like 95% processed garbage. And it's like, it's kind of horrifying, and especially now, like I walk down and I'm just looking, I'm just like, Jesus, entire huge sections of the store, there's literally nothing that's actually edible. There's nothing that's really safe for human consumption. Like entire sections, multiple aisles you walk down, and it's like pretty much most of it is not actually safe for human consumption. And it's just shocking and horrifying to look. It's just like row after row after row of just pretty much just poison. And then you look around and every single person is overweight, a bunch of people riding around in wheelchair, in power wheelchairs that should not be walking in wheelchairs. They should be up and about and fine, but they're just so messed up health-wise, been so poisoned that their body's so broken down, and just pretty much 9 out of 10 people are obese or fat walking around. Pretty much that's what I see now. And it's just like shocking, and it's just like so sad. And so I see that vision still needs to come to fruition. I feel like, there's other people working on it, but I don't know. It feels like maybe, that might be another phase of what I'm, but that's going to be much more of a hardware type thing. Hardware is definitely harder than software, and like, it's a service type business. So, I think this first phase that I'm focused on is, it's going to be what I'm doing now, what I'm in the process of doing now, doing these, special type of sessions and facilitating these group experiences. And I got a bigger vision for developing software to supplement this type of work. And but once that, I feel like, that's the next 3 to 5 year plan. But once that takes off to a certain, certain degree, and financially puts me in totally different financial situation and investments, then I think then it would allow me to at some point shift gears and put time, money, and resources into going back to that other vision that I had on day 25 of the previous 40-day water fast. Because it's a pretty radical vision that I had, so I highly doubt I'm going to see anything that's coming anywhere close to what I was envisioning the next few years, that anyone's going to actually step up and do what I was imagining that needs to be done. But I could always on the sideline, just, with free time, at least just refine some plans so that once the resources are available and the time is right to go for it. It might just be the time is not quite right just yet, too, because it is fairly radical in many respects. So I think it needs to be even a higher level of crisis needs to occur before the need for this will become even more apparent. So I think we're just not quite there just yet, so yeah, so when the timing is right, the timing is right. But I don't know, I'll see. Day 25, I mean, I certainly had some big visions already around the same time, so who knows, maybe that might be just a good rule of thumb. Somewhere when doing this long water fast is, once you get into that 3-week mark, that's, somewhere between the 3 to 4 week mark is when I'm noticing that's when the bigger visions, at least, I mean, this is for myself at least, seems like that's kind of the window in which that's where I start to experience really start downloading major visions of a new reality, a new world, of new possibility, and very profound visions, so I noticed I didn't get those as much in the beginning, in the first week or whatever. I just find that interesting. It's kind of in the later, it's in week 3 to week 4 is when the major visions start coming for me, so just at least as a mental note for myself, and obviously note in this video, that's something to keep in mind. So in the future, do a long fast again, not 40-day fast, but even if I'm thinner later, when I'm thinner later, leaned out, I might be able to push to at least a 3-week fast or something, have enough reserve to handle a 3-week fast, just not a 40-day fast. If I'm looking for, more visions or something, but I don't know. The couple of visions I've gotten so far, the one from before about the revolutionary new food, Tesla food type industry, and then the visions that I got now, that's plenty to keep me busy for at least the next 10 years. So I think I'm good in the visions department for now. Yeah. All right. I think I'm at this point probably just rambling now. So on today, it's only 15 days to go, with 40 days ending on my birthday. But again, if I feel like I can go a little longer, I might go a couple days longer. But I don't know. It seems like just ending it on my birthday seems appropriate. It's a good day to celebrate. Yeah, so. But I'll decide closer to that date. I think I'll definitely know. I'll know on day 39. I'll probably know by day 39 if I've got I have enough reserve still left in the tank to go a few more days. Because by day 39, if the yellow alerts are already going off, and then day 40, when I wake up on day 40, I'm like, yeah, I'll know. Yeah, between day 39 and the morning of day 40, I'll know if that's it, if it's the end. So, who knows? Maybe I'll go to day 45. I have no idea. We'll find out. I'm all about making addendums and staying flexible, making adjustments midstream if things, situation changes. All right, yeah, don't stay rigid, stay flexible. All right, till next one.